Hey guys, it's episode 4 of the day trading series where I scalp the S&P 500 futures for a 1-point profit. I record all my evening trades every day and post them with my thoughts and commentary on why I took those trades. So I started with about $2,000 on day 1, which has now grown to $3,612 in 3 days. So let's see if we can break that $4,000 barrier today. So let's begin. This is the 2000 tick chart of the S&P 500 and I start the day by marking the highs and lows of the day. Next, it's important to identify the general trend for the day and draw some trend lines. As I've said in previous episodes, it's always better to trade in the direction of the trend. For example, if it's a bullish trend, then go long. If it's a bearish trend, then go short. If you're not sure what the terms mean, I have the definitions in the description below and may make a video explaining all the trade terms if there is enough interest for it. So now what do we see on the market today? So there seems to have been a sell-off again overnight and then some form of reversal. This could be just a pullback before collapsing down again, breaking through the lowest point here, or it could be a reversal all the way up to the highs. So for those who are new, I'm based in the UK and so the market opens at 2:30 UK time. And I try to start trading around that time, but not always possible due to work. So here there was sort of a two-legged pullback, but I wanted a clear idea on what the general pattern for the day is, especially since there was a huge upwards movement here of around 8 to 9 points. About 15 minutes later, there was a massive sell-off again and there is a double top here, which are signs of a strong resistance and reversal. So overall, I don't think it will be an upwards trend for the day. So the market will either go sideways or break through the lows that I have marked here. We also see a two-legged pullback forming here. So as usual, I place a sell stop and stalk for an entry point. The ideal entry point is a tick below a bearish bar, which would be around here, but I was a bit too slow, so I missed that point. But since there was such a strong sell-off today with these massive bars, I decided to still enter a tick below the green bar here. It took about 5 seconds and I made my first point profit, which is $150 for me. So remember, 1 point gives $50 profit if you trade 1 contract. I'm trading 3 contracts, which means a total of $150 per point. My stop loss is a point lower, so if it goes the other way, I will be out of the trade for about $150 loss. So I have a 1-to-1 profit loss ratio. So a few more minutes have passed and we have another setup. It's another volatile day today with quick price actions and massive bars, which can be tricky to trade, so you have to be careful. So here we have a two-legged pullback forming and a two-legged trap at the same time. So I'll start explaining with the trap. So we have a bullish run here, then one pullback and a second pullback here, where a lot of new traders bought thinking that it will shoot up. But as we all know by now, it's never a good idea to trade against the general trend, especially on a day like this with strong sell-offs. So we just have to place a sell stop underneath this bar, and if all these traders are wrong and the price reverses, then as usual, we will help these poor traders exit their position by buying their stop losses. Now the second confirmation that this will go down is that we not only have a trap, but we also have a two-legged pullback towards the downwards direction. So we have several bearish bars here, one pullback here, and a second pullback forming here. And because we have a double confirmation here, I placed a sell stop directly underneath the main body of the bar instead of the thin lines at the end of the bars, because I was pretty confident it will come collapsing down. But I would advise you guys to stick to the fundamentals for now until you are more experienced with reading bars. So if you simply place the sell stop underneath the thin bars, you would have still made the 1 point scalp because this bar dropped almost 3 points. To be fair, I might have been better off changing my target profit to 2 points since the bars are so large today. So about another 5 minutes have passed and we have another setup. Again, it's a two-legged pullback, a strong sell-off followed by one pullback and then a second pullback here. So I just waited until this bearish bar has formed, and this time tried not to get trapped into the trade. On the last episode you saw that the prices jumped so fast that I got entered into the trade accidentally. But luckily I made the 1 point profit because the sell-off was so strong. But I prefer luck not to be the main source of my income, so this time I managed to place the sell stop exactly where I wanted it. It took a while here to get that 1 point scalp, not because the market was slow, but because my internet disconnected. Hence why the tick counter here was stuck at the same number for a while. But in the end I still managed to make that 1 point profit. So that's our third win for the day, bringing the total to $450. So in about 30 minutes I managed to make $450, which was great, but sometimes can be bad for your mentality. Because I made so much money so quickly, I became a bit too relaxed and a bit overconfident. So I took a risk in the following trade. I decided to take a one-legged pullback, which is not as strong of an indicator. So again my internet froze, and when it resumed it just went back up and triggered my stop loss. That was my first loss of $150 since I started this trading series. But the worst is I was getting very impatient to claw back that money I lost. So just a few minutes later I broke my own rule again and tried trading the opposite direction to the general trend of the day. I did have some reasoning behind it, which was this looked like a bottoming pattern. So I drew a horizontal line to indicate a possible line of resistance that it won't break through. But now looking at it, it's not even a good double bottom. And worst of all, I'm placing a buy order close to the top of this trend line, which is usually something I use to trap newbie traders. This is what happens when you're not used to losing real money. I was extremely lucky to get that 1 point scalp because seconds later it collapsed down, so a trap like I normally do would have been the correct trade to do, trapping all these new traders or people like me who broke down after one loss. If I entered a couple of ticks higher, it would have been another loss. But that lucky win brought me back to my senses, especially when I saw that it easily broke through the very badly analyzed resistance line I drew here. So the best thing to do there was to quit for the day and come back fresh, as my mind was not in the right place for trading. So in total I ended the day with $450, and the take home message of this video is that no matter how well you do on a demo account, it's a completely different ballgame when it comes to real money. Overall, my account still managed to grow from $3,612 to $4,062 since the last episode. But the main lesson learned from today's trading session was how emotions plays a big role in how you trade. Please like the video if you learned something new, and remember to subscribe for the next episode.